In northeastern Siberia, there is a location that is called Pleistocene Park. This is an experimental wildlife reserve that it's trying to replicate this sort of environment that we were talking about, this mammoth steppe sort of Pleistocene era habitat. Now, the mammoths obviously haven't been introduced to Pleistocene Park because they don't exist yet, and we need a population that is large enough to support itself before, it is placed there. But a lot of animals have been reintroduced to this environment. The work has already been started. For example, the Yakutian horse, the moose, the reindeer, the musk ox, European bison, the domestic yak, the domestic sheep, and the plains bison have all been put in this area where those animals had very little or no populations recently. And we're already seeing some exciting developments on the return of this kind of mammoth steppe sort of ecosystem. It's still an experimental project and we haven't seen those long-term outcomes quite yet, but there has been some positive grassland restoration, some good animal adaptation. A lot of the permafrost has been preserved, which is important. And it's increased public awareness and funding in this whole issue, which is also, that can't be understated. Now, that being said, there have been some challenges. It's been kind of a limited impact. It's not a terribly large area. Harsh winters and predation have caused a setback in some of the animal populations. We're not sure how it impacts the climate. For sure, we have models, but seeing it in real time, it's not always going to match those models exactly, so it's hard to predict. And anytime you're trying to restore an ecosystem, it's an incredibly complex process, and it's really difficult to account for all those complexities. So though it is a long-term experiment, we are seeing some good parts to it. There's also the fact that there are no mammoths there yet, and that might be the missing piece. That might be the key to making this whole thing work. So Pleistocene Park is showing early signs of success, but it'll really be in the coming years that we see whether or not this is a viable option. So yes,